Good afternoon and welcome to Jumpstart's monthly expert-led webinar series, today with Felesia McDonald from iWeb Designs 360 on using generative AI to work smarter, not harder. I'm Lauren Smith-Petta and I serve as Jumpstart's Director of Education. Jumpstart strives to provide you with an access to knowledge and resources you need to make your small business bigger and better. Visit our website to explore some of our other educational opportunities for small businesses and tech companies. Before I introduce our presenter today, a few housekeeping items. This presentation session will be 60 to 90 minutes with time set aside for Q&A. Our presenter is going to ask you to participate throughout, so please place your comments in the chat to participate. Please make sure your responses are going to everyone. It defaults to hosts and panelists, so you may need to make this change in chat. You can also see the Q&A, which is a great place to put your questions as they occur to you, and we can be sure to address them at the end. Also, at the end of today's session and in a follow-up email, you'll receive a brief survey. Our return attenders are familiar with the survey. We appreciate your feedback. It allows us to continue to bring in experts and entrepreneurs to teach valuable lessons, and it will give Felesia valuable feedback on her content. All right, without further ado, allow me to introduce our presenting subject matter expert today, Felesia McDonald. As the founder of iWeb Designs 360, Felesia is a web and UX designer, AI specialist, and design manager dedicated to making digital experiences smarter and more efficient. With a passion for AI-powered solutions, she helps businesses streamline workflows, automate tasks, and enhance user experiences. She has worked with major companies like Sherwin-Williams and Optum, leading projects that optimize digital platforms and improve user engagement. Notably, she led the redesign of Lock Haven University's marketing website, saving the university $1.9 million in its first year post-launch. Felesia is also an educator and mentor, as though that's not enough, dedicated to making UX design and AI more accessible. She has taught UX design at Kent State University for 9 years now, and now teaches UX at the Columbus College of Art and Design. In her free time, beyond consulting and education and being an entrepreneur, Felesia is a children's book illustrator who has used AI to create stunning visuals for books like Joey Wants to Sing and Zaya the Tech Geek. She also designs AI-generated art for home decor, apparel, and creative projects, pushing the boundaries of AI in storytelling and design. So here we very much have an entrepreneur who practices what she is about to preach to you all. So Felesia, over to you. Thank you so much for being here and welcome.
Thank you for having me. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining, and I hope that you learned a lot from this session. And feel free to ask questions, and I want this to be an interactive engagement. So if you have questions, pop them in the chat and we'll go through them. So as Lauren said, the topic is work smarter, not harder, how entrepreneurs can leverage generative AI. So as an entrepreneur, it's important that we manage our resources, right? And our number one resource is our time. So with AI, I'm going to show you how we can leverage technology, especially generative AI, to get some of our time back. AI is transforming how entrepreneurs run their businesses. Today, we'll explore practical applications and skills to leverage AI effectively. Why AI matters for entrepreneurs. So there are 3 key things that I want to focus on today in this webinar. One is how businesses can transform using AI through tools to streamline workflows and automate routine tasks. 2, it gives you a competitive edge. So as a small business, there are things that you may not be able to do to compete with some of the larger businesses. Well, AI can help you create your own team, and you can train that team to be your assistant. You can use AI to help facilitate different things that you may not be able to get to all the time, helping you get your time back, and also helping you to become more productive and efficient. Third goal is to teach you some prompting techniques. So streamlining workflows and to craft effective prompts so that you can make your generative AI more effective and tailor it to your specific needs. AI essentials for entrepreneurs. So what is AI? So AI is technology that mimics human intelligence to perform tasks and learn from data. So for example, you can train, AI has the ability to take data and it can learn from that data. So you have a tool that has all this knowledge. So let's say if you just picked a book out the sky and said, hey, I want to do a summary, I want to do a report based on X, Y, and Z, or a book that comes to mind, Dave Ramsey, or any other kind of book that you need, the technology already has that information stored. So it can help you craft what you need based on the data that it already has. It also learns from you. So as you work with the chat tools, you're able to, you're training it how to think like you. You're training it how to respond like you. You're training it to be your assistant. And I'm going to show you a trick as we use custom chat GPT a little bit later. So the types of AI tools are chatbots and custom GPTs and AI agents, and each serve different purposes for business needs, and you can tailor them to fit specifically what you need. And you've all heard that, AI is going to take your jobs and they're going to replace humans. That's not true. AI is a tool just like any other tool. If the reality is the person who has AI knowledge is going to replace you. But AI cannot replace you. It can't do human thinking. It can mimic patterns, but it can't think for you. So you have to be able to train it, learn how to manipulate it, and make it work the way you need for it to. Some popular AI tools with chat tools are OpenAI, which is ChatGPT, the one you probably heard of the most. The main functionality of ChatGPT is content creation, brainstorming, coding support. You can also create art with ChatGPT, which is what I've used to illustrate my children's books. And I also use ChatGPT to create some of my digital art. Now, one reason I have dates in here is because the technology has a cutoff date based on the latest references. So if you were to ask a chat bot how to, or reference something that's current, that may have happened yesterday, it doesn't have the up-to-date technology to be able to reference current information. So ChatGPT goes back to February 2025. Claude is another chat tool, and Claude is really good for long-form content creation. It's better at writing than ChatGPT. It's better at summarizing. So each tool has its own specific need and purpose. Gemini, on the other hand, is good for research. It has real-time data access because it's built by Google. So it has a different database that it can attach to provide content. It's good for multimedia content creation, and it was, as of yesterday, the data was updated up until December 2024. Other tools are Perplexity, and Perplexity is really good for researching, fact checking, and data analysis. It will also give you references that it's pulled information from so you can fact check, which is really good because let's say, I don't know if you guys have heard, but there was a story about a lawyer who went to ChatGPT to get some research or case studies, and the chats can actually hallucinate. So you have to double check the resources and the source of information, where it's pulling that information from. You can't always rely on it to be 100% truthful when it's doing a search because, it's searching the internet, it's pulling data from everywhere, and you don't know if it's accurate or not. So that's kind of called hallucination. There's also Copilot, and Copilot is from Microsoft. So that's used a lot within companies. It's more secure than saying, uploading your data to ChatGPT or an open source platform. So Copilot is more secure, and most companies use Copilot because if you have a Microsoft account, you can expect privacy and your data to be protected. DeepSeek, I really haven't gotten into DeepSeek very well, but DeepSeek is good for coding assistance, technical research, and it also has the ability to help you rewrite content. It has access to other technical research, and like I said, so just being able to tap into a different database. And that's what each one of these tools allows you to tap into. They all have a different version of their database and how it processes the information. Some other tools I want to introduce you to. Oops, that's not loading. We talked about ChatGPT and Gamma app is actually what I use to create this presentation. So you're able to upload some content and it can design your presentation for you, or you can actually tell it to create your content for you. You give it a topic, it will create slides, it will create images, and then you can go in and tweak the slides and presentation as you see fit. So that's a time saver right there. Canva is another tool that's really easy to use. It's integrated with AI. It can create images. You tell it what you want it to do, and it can create that output for you. Zapier and Make, they're automation tools. So they're really good when you have, let's say you want to connect your email. It can connect your email to ChatGPT or whatever automation. So these are workflows improved by automation, and these are just some examples. So I mentioned email automation. So professional follow-ups and responses without time investment. So through integration with an API or Make or Zapier, you're able to train the GP to create an automation that will allow you to integrate your email account, for example, Gmail, run it through Make, you set the parameters, and it can output what's urgent for you, whatever parameters that you set. So if it's, let's say you're doing lead generation, whatever leads that you get to come in, then it will prioritize the needs, the urgency, the categories, however you have it set up, but it helps you and it can then send that information over to you as opposed to you having to constantly check your email. So social media content. Consistent posting, scheduled with engaging on-brand content. So you can create automations that will allow ChatGPT to create your social media calendar. You can train it to speak on brand. You can train it to speak on specific topics. It can literally automate every step along the path for social media content creation, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. It will create the post. It will create the image. It can then upload to your social media platform. You can create a calendar with scheduled times to upload. So it takes the work away from you having to do it manually, and it does the work for you. Content strategy. So when you're writing your email newsletters or your press releases, things like that, and you're focused on keywords for SEO, it can create user-friendly, SEO-friendly blogs. And it allows you to upload the topic that you want to speak on, have it speak in your tone related to your brand, and it will create the content for you. In addition to the same as social media content, you're just training it to speak with an SEO perspective in mind. And then when it comes to competitor research, you can do a SWOT analysis. So taking market insights, you can upload another website or competitor's website. You can get some of their information. You can it helps you in the market to attract your target audience, speak to your target audience, and remain competitive within your industry. So a little bit about creating custom GPTs versus AI agents. ChatGPT has the ability to create custom GPTs. You can, these are specialized tools designed for specific tasks. They're interactive and respond to user prompts within their domain expertise. So however you set up this custom GPT, you're telling it to follow specific steps along the way and what to do. A custom GPT is different than an agent because an agent is an autonomous system that you set up and it works independently from you having to take it step by step. So an agent is more automation related. You're able to back to like taking your email address, you're able to run it through Make and connect through different APIs, and it can run these tasks automatically without you having to make any decisions. Here are some examples of how you can streamline workflows and automate routine tasks. So let's see, a business area would be email management. A task would be manually writing and replying to emails. And AI drafts personalized professional emails instantly. Social media, creating posts, captions, hashtags daily. AI generates scheduled posts, captions, and hashtags. A product listings, so writing product descriptions manually. So you can upload your products, let's say a t-shirt. If you run a Shopify store, you can upload your product and you could say, write me a product description based on this product. And it will write the product description based on, you can tell it the number of words you want it to adhere to, but it will take away the work of you having to do it yourself. And AI instantly creates persuasive, SEO optimized listings. So for customer service, you can manually answer repetitive questions. AI chatbots automatically handle FAQs 24/7. So you know how you can go to a website nowadays and it has a little chat icon in the corner. You can click on it and you program it to respond specifically the way you want it to respond. So you're uploading your information as if you were talking. Let's see, scheduling and follow-ups. Constantly following up manually. So AI auto schedules meetings and sends reminders. If you have a form that's filled out, AI can extract that information from the form. It can then process the information according to your parameters and respond according to how you have it set up. So whether it's scheduling a meeting in response, or if it's sending an email or sending some follow-up content, you can create the automation to do exactly the way you want it to respond. And content writing. So hours spent writing and editing content. AI drafts the content for you. It can optimize the articles within minutes. And I'm going to show you how we can create some of these things within this webinar so you can see how streamlined the process is and how quick it is. Market research, so lengthy competitor analysis, which is what I mentioned. You can provide examples of how you want of the target market or the audience, or how you want your research to be completed to help you understand how you need to function and respond. Task management, so manually creating daily task lists. And this is something that I've done with AI as well. So I've used it to create, let's see, recipes or setting priorities for the day. I've used it to create a workout schedule, which I don't do, but it can be your partner and your tool. Data summary. So you can also upload data and it will summarize the data. It can create a survey. It can create your summaries it's based on your specifications. So for example, I've had a client that I work with. She was conducting research for a book and she needed to summarize the research. So I would upload her content, have it analyze the content based on a certain methodology, and it would then summarize that content based on those parameters that I set. So that streamlined, saved her tons of hours as opposed to her having to code it and summarize it herself. And idea generation. So it can help you with brainstorming sessions. If you put in the idea of, let's say, I want to start a business based on t-shirts, and these are the style, this is the style that I want. It can help you define different steps. It can help you walk through the process of creating your business. It can help you come up with different ideas and types of art for your t-shirts or whatever else you want to create. So it becomes your assistant, and you're able to automate and take some of the individual work that you would have to do on your own. I know I'm going kind of fast, but are there any questions so far that I need to address?
There's some great questions, Felicia. I think that they
Okay.
could wait until the end.
Okay, all right. So ideas for custom GPTs. So an AI virtual assistant. So it automates scheduling, emails, and tasks, helps manage daily operations and customer inquiries. So it's just like having your own assistant. You can have it respond to your emails. I kind of went over this already, but responding to emails, managing the priority of your emails, searching for certain keywords. However, your business is set up for you, it can become your assistant. I'm going to show you how to do social media content generation within Chat GPT. So I'm going to hold off on that one. But lead generation and CRM assistant GPT. So it automates email outreach and lead qualifications, organizes customer data, and suggests follow-up. So you're able to extract the information from a form, or however you have it set up on your website through chatbot or forms, or however you're gathering that information, and it can prioritize for you. So it takes the work away from you having to manually go through all this lead tracking. Another example is AI-powered market research. So summarizing trends, competitor analysis, industry insights. So this tool scans competitor websites. It's public information anyway, right? So it scans competitor websites, customer reviews, and industry trends to give you actionable insights without spending hours researching. Customer support and FAQ GPTs. Answer frequently asked questions. So it's kind of like what I was saying about the chatbot. You're able to create the content to respond to certain inputs. AI bookkeeper and invoice generator GPT. So this one's really helpful, and I've used this one myself, creating invoices when I have clients for my web design business. So I've automatically set up different categories. It sets up how to bill, inputs the email address, sends it out. It helps me track my expense reports by scanning. I can scan my receipts. It automatically categorizes the receipts, and it can send reminders about who to pay and tracking payments. AI agents. AI agents are automated assistants. So they're the more autonomous system that you set up through automation with tools like Zapier and Make.com. They're like chatbots, but they learn from you. They take action and can integrate with different tools. So that's what makes these more efficient, because you don't have to be hands-on, guiding it, structuring what you want to do next, because you've already set up that automation. So ideas for AI agent. So AI virtual assistant agent. So it handles scheduling, emails, and task management. Integrates with Google Calendar, Slack, and CRM tools. AI customer support agent. So it answers FAQ questions and handles basic inquiries. It can integrate with websites and chatbots such as Shopify or Zendesk. Escalates complex issues to a human. So if there's an issue that it can't handle or address, instead of getting a null result or not responding appropriately, it can then redirect over to you if it can't answer or address the issue. AI lead generation and follow-up agent. It can scrape websites and LinkedIn to find potential customers, sends personalized outreach emails and follows up, and scores leads and integrate with CRM tools like HubSpot. So however you set up your business, whatever you prioritize, it can follow your lead. So now we're going to get into how to effectively use, and I'm going to focus on Chat GPT for this presentation. Creating a prompt is the most fundamental, essential tool or skill that you need to have when using a chatbot. So creating an effective prompt requires specificity. You have to be precise about what you want, context, so providing a relevant background, clarity, use simple, direct language and tone, and then also adding exactly how you want it to deliver. So if you want it in a table form or if you want bullet points, you can then specify exactly how you want it. So a lot of times people will just say, build a marketing plan. And that's not a good prompt because it's just going to give you a general marketing plan. The more specific you are, the better your output. The super prompt method. So state your context, your role. So as a small business owner planning marketing, your task, I need to create social media content for a product launch. The output instructions, generate 5 posts with hashtags in a conversational tone and include examples similar to this successful post. And by adding the example, you're doing several things. So you're training it to speak like you on brand using your tone, and it helps to keep the consistency and sounding less robotic as opposed to just something generic. And of course, you can go in and tweak it because it's still not exactly you, but it's going to get you closer to the result as if you were to write it, and it saves time. So Chat GPT prompting cheat sheet. So I'm going to go over to Chat GPT and walk you through some of the ways you can actually use it to create some prompts. Let's see. I need to write the post for. So this is not a prompt, but I'm going to use it as an example just to show you how it would interact. Now, one thing about it is since this is my own Chat GPT account, I have the paid account, which allows me to upload my own content, but it will still learn who you are as you use it over time. So even with the free account, it learns who you are, it learns your tone, it learns your business, and it retains everything you've put into the system prior to, because it's as you add information, it's learning more about you. It's consistent, and that's how it learns based on the data. So one thing I want to show you for fun is that I named my chat. So what I put, if you can't see it, so I'm giving my presentation now, and it already knows that I'm giving a presentation for Jumpstart, and the audience is entrepreneurs introducing AI. So content creation. So a bad prompt is write a post about AI. It's too vague, doesn't specify the audience, purpose, or style. So if I were to say, write a LinkedIn post for entrepreneurs, explaining how AI can automate repetitive business tasks, keep it engaging in under 200 words. And if you recall, it follows the structure of the role, the task, and giving parameters. So keep it engaging, under 200 words. So let's see the output for that. There it is. So if I wanted to, I would personally then take this and have it expand on this topic. And as you can see, it gives the call to action in the event that someone wants to further discuss or work with me to help build their automation or their emails or custom GPTs. Is your call to action is right here, it's built in. So okay, so social media management. Excuse me. Simple as that. So now I'm going to take it a little bit further. So let's switch it up and say, do this again. You might just be thinking because I did ask for a lot of information. Let's try it again. Almost. I'm going to switch to a different. I did not ask for Python. Where do you it works? Here, I'll show you this one. So this is one that I created as a test. So it's introduction, welcome to iWeb Design 360, share your mission and expertise, photo of me and text overlay. The specific prompt was, I am a social media manager. I want to create content for my Instagram post for my business, iWeb Design 360. Create a content calendar in the form of a table for 30 days of content. Use my style and tone, light, friendly, professional, and educational. So I would then take, let's see, and one thing to keep in mind is everything I'm doing now can be automated. So you wouldn't have to take the prompt and put it in ChatGPT and have it run through. It would automate everything. Creating the calendar, it would automate the topic, the headline, the theme, the format. It can do everything. And you just have to go in and approve it. And if it's something you don't like, then you can go back and have it run through it again. So let's see, I have other prompts to, hey, Lauren,
I'm here.
do we have any topics by chance that people may want to run through for examples?
If anybody has a topic that you'd like to see an example of, just put it in the chat. Make sure it's going to everyone. Again, we have some good questions. They're general, so I think they'd be great for the Q&A. But in the
Okay,
meantime, does anyone have a prompt they want to process through the pro here?
let's see, let's try business consultant. Business consultant. And the task is the format should be that's what the other one was supposed to do.
We got a good suggestion. It doesn't have to do with entrepreneurship, but it is something I've used chat for, which is Chantal said, researching a 2-week trip to Tokyo.
Oh, that's fun. Okay, let's try it. Swear to you. There we go. But Chantel, what are some things that you like to do?
Chantal, you should be able to raise your hand and I can unmute you, or you can put it in the chat.
Let's try that. So what I did here was I gave it the topic, who I am and the topic, what I want it to produce. So ideas for things that I can do while I'm in Tokyo, suggestions. So I gave it like restaurant ideas and culture type activities.
If you want to refine, I did unmute Chantal if you want to talk a little bit about what you enjoy, Chantal.
Oh, this is great. Hi, Felicia. Thank
Hi.
you so much. Definitely food was going to be my number one thing that I wanted to try. And then activities like seeing cultural things like shrines and temples.
Okay.
Also, nature. So, like hiking, if there are places, good places to go hiking. And then nighttime activities like karaoke spots.
Okay. I cannot type or spell, obviously. Well, you guys get it. And so one thing I wanted to mention, I should have mentioned, is that you're also able to update. So once it gives you your result, if it's something you want to tweak or refine, this is what we're doing here. So we're also include nature activities and nighttime activities like karaoke. Okay, and for nighttime, this is what it's coming back with. So there are people who have literally planned their entire vacations using Chat GPT. Or you can even input the type of things you like to do and ask it for recommendations of places to go.
Felicia, I'm
Yeah.
assuming that you're going to show this a little bit more specifically as well, and I thought it was timely. Dee asked, can you show more on how to do tasks automatically once the information is given, like you were talking about a moment ago?
So that's going to require a lot more automation. So you would go to, let me see if I can find a screenshot and walk you through it. Oh, hold on. And remember, it knows that I'm giving this presentation. So that's why I can just keep referencing my presentation. It knows who my audience is and the topic. So I can say I'm currently giving my presentation and I was asked to illustrate an automation. Let's show how you would automate let's do email workflow using Make. Show an illustration. No, illustrate the process. Process. So I'm providing context, I'm giving it a task, and I'm showing what I want it to do. So this is the automation. These are the steps you would take. So a new lead fills out a form on a website. The lead's details are added to a CRM, which would be HubSpot, Airtable, or Google Sheets. An automatic welcome email is sent. A follow-up email is scheduled a few days later. So these are the steps you would take, and I'm not sure it's struggling, probably because I've used it so much. That's not, well, so these are illustrating the steps, but, all right, so workflow steps. Form submission, add to the CRM, show welcome email, schedule follow-up, and send emails. So what I want to do though is show the screen. I don't want you to show me how. I want you to show me the actual dots. So again, you have to keep working with it to get it to give you the exact output that you want. So what I'm trying to do is show you, oh, that's not what I want. Let's see. I'm gonna pull up Google because I just want you to see what it looks like. Um, Images. So this is what an automation looks like. Okay. You would start with what's called a webhook and shows you it imports a JSON, which you can actually structure in ChatGPT, and it has a router, and it then goes through these steps needed. So this is a little more complicated than what you would actually need, but as you can see, the result would be an email or going to your Android or going to Slack. So this is just showing you how it would look when it's actually done. Any other, so as you can see, create an illustration. It's not the right illustration that I was looking for, but it's an illustration nonetheless.
So Felicia, what you're saying is that you have to treat and teach the AI how to respond the way you want it to respond individually.
Absolutely. So one thing about it is you can put your input in and you have to keep working with it and guiding it and training it to respond the way you want it to respond. I'll give you another example. I am working on a brand. So what I'm doing here is I'm working on a marketing strategy. It already knows who I am. I'm Felesia McDonald. I own iWeb Design 360. So let me put that in there for iWeb 360. So this walks you through, you can have it ask you questions to like build your marketing strategy or to help train it on specific information that you might want to use later. So just remember, this is your friend, and the more information you put in it, the more it's going to learn about you, the more it's going to be able to output on its own. Let's see. Any other topics you want to go over off the top of your head or questions I can answer right now?
Felicia, we have some really good questions. Did you have more slides you wanted to go over, or should we talk about some of these great questions?
I think I lost my slides. So let's see a couple more slides and then we can go over the questions.
Great.
So you'll get a copy of this presentation, but these are just examples of things of prompts that you can practice, or the structure, examples for the structure of prompts you can use for yourself. And another key component is you can ask ChatGPT to help you structure your prompt. So for example, I want to create a monthly budget with income, expenses, and savings goals. And I actually did this. So what I did was I gave it a reference using Dave Ramsey's method. I uploaded my credit cards and my bank statement. Now, I redacted my private information because it is open source and you don't want to put your personal information out there. But just as a regular data source, you can upload that and it can interpret who you are. And it actually gave me a 1-year schedule to pay off my credit cards based on my pay period. So it broke down which credit card to pay for each pay period and how to pay everything off within 12 months. So it was really resourceful. I was able to, let's see, also create a custom GPT that I can refer back to. So if I need to update it, it's there. You can also explore GPTs. Let me get back to the prompts in a second, but one thing you can do is there are GPTs, custom GPTs that are already made. So we were talking about the trip earlier. Here's an Expedia GPT. You go in here, you type your conversation starter. It's already set up to give you examples of what you're looking for. We're looking for a hotel near the Eiffel Tower with a gym. And it'll give you the output that you need. For some GPTs that I have used for my children's book, I use the consistent character GPT. And I was able to create the character. You name the character, you give it the requirements, and it produces the output of the character, and you keep tweaking it. So if it's not exactly what you want, you can go back and iterate and refine until you get it exactly the way you want. So it is your assistant. You're going to have to keep working with it and training it based on the way you want it to produce. So when you have time, you can go through, let's look at like some of the productivity presentations, PDF, chat, create and organize. A lot of tools already created for you that will walk you through by asking questions to give you the output that you need. Okay. So back to letting AI craft your prompt. You can, let's do this. Craft a prompt for marketing strategy. And I'm keeping it very vague. As you notice, I didn't give it a role. I didn't give it the task that I wanted to create or the output. So let's see what it does. Develop a detailed marketing strategy for iWeb Design 360, a tech-focused web design, and AI consulting company that specializes in helping small to medium-sized businesses integrate AI to streamline operations, automate workflows, and enhance their digital experiences. The strategy should cover, and here's everything here, based on information I've already put in. And then you can also tell it, if you're just starting out, you could say, craft a prompt for a marketing strategy for iWeb Design 360. Ask me questions to help you create the strategy. And it will ask questions that it needs information on. And you will then answer those questions, and it's building its database to be able to present the prompt the way you need it. Any questions on something like that? Okay. Let's see. So this is letting AI craft your prompts. You'll have that. Ah, Q&A. So just to recap, you start small, begin with one workflow to automate. So take,
Felicia, are you sharing your slides? Because we're still looking at your chat.
oh, wait, I'm sorry.
It's
Yes.
okay.
Hold on, wait. Mhm. Let's try to go again. Here we go. You see it now?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. So let's go back. So do you guys see this one?
I don't think so.
Oh, wow. Okay, so these are you saw this. These are the prompts, right?
I'm not sure we did.
Oh,
But like I said,
wow. Oh.
We didn't see all the prompts, but we saw the super prompt method. And
Okay, you
again,
love this one.
everybody, you will receive this entire deck to refer to because it's a lot of good stuff after the presentation. So it's all good.
Yes. So I'm thinking you're saying, okay, so this is a cheat sheet that I was referring to in the presentation. Um, act as these are the roles, this is the task, and this is the format. So that's what I was referring to when I was structuring some of the prompts. And then we have this one for letting AI craft your prompts. So you would identify the goal, ask AI for prompt suggestions, refine the suggested prompt, and use the final prompt. So I'm afraid to click back over to ChatGPT, but you saw how I asked ChatGPT to create the prompt for a marketing strategy. And like I said, you consistently have it ask you questions to build on what you're trying to create. Now we get into like, this is the final slide. So next steps in Q&A. So just to recap, you would start small. So if you want to analyze a workflow you can automate something simple like your emails or your lead generation, write down the steps that you take to do your work on a regular basis and think of ways that you can have automation help reduce some of the steps you need to take personally and give you some time back. Practice your prompts. So refine your prompting skills using the strategy of the role, the task, the context, the output that you want. Measure results. So you can track time saved and see if it's beneficial. Is the automation working? Do you need to make updates to it? Are there things you can add to it? And then one thing like with agents, you can have multiple steps within your automation to really take over a complete task without you having to be hands-on. And then apply to more business areas. So as opposed to just using it for your emails, you can use it for, like I said, I used it for creating recipes or creating dinner ideas or organization ideas, workout plan. It's become my go-to. So it's been able to help me kind of work through some things because I tend to get kind of stuck on things. So it helps me brainstorm as well. When I'm creating websites, I've used it to help me work through some design suggestions. And you can also use it for visualization, creating your art, creating your content for your website. There are just so many, there's no limit to what it can do for you, depending on how you want to use it. So before the last slide is just my contact information. But let's get into the questions that you guys have.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Felesia. I think that this is a lot of tips on working smarter, not harder, and saving that time. We have a number of open questions, so we'll just take those in the Q&A one by one, and then we can take some hand raises if anyone would like to raise their hand and verbally ask a question. So the first question that's been waiting is, can you rate the AI tools based on your preference? She said, I've always heard that ChatGPT is the best or the number one GPT or AI tool. Would you agree?
Depends on what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
ChatGPT is one tool. And as you can imagine, there are tons and tons of tools that are coming out every single day. But it depends. I would say that ChatGPT is an easy tool to use. But like I said in the presentation, so with the use of tools like Claude. So Claude, I can show you Claude as well. Okay. Can you see my screen still?
Yes.
Okay, I'm pulling up Claude. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm also going to show you Perplexity. So that's one I use consistently. What can I help you with today? Let's see. Let's stick with an email idea. I need to create an email newsletter for iWeb December 360. And I could have given it like choose style, so friendly, formal, concise. So I use different platforms for different things, and sometimes I'll compare. So I may use ChatGPT and see what it says. I may use Claude, I may use Perplexity, and just to see which one I like best and which one I want to build on. So you have to kind of play with it to figure out your preference and the need that you have in the moment.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Another question has to do with sort of the protection of the IP of the entrepreneurs. So with these AI tools processing sensitive business data in some cases, how do you balance the efficiency benefits against potential security risks, especially when using public platforms like ChatGPT versus more secure enterprise solutions like Copilot?
Well, so if it's security that you're concerned about, use Copilot. If it's general ideas that are open source, then you can use some of the open source platforms like ChatGPT. As I said, like when I created the financial assistant GPT, I redacted my personal information. I removed my name, address, account numbers. So all it had was simple data. And so it can't identify the data back to me. It's no different than any other type of data that you would upload into a platform. So it's just a matter of, if, like I said, if it's something that's private, use Copilot. It's a secure system.
Right. Thank you.
You're
The
welcome.
next question, we'll just go down at rapid fire. The next question is there one AI tool that can do the majority of the tasks that you listed, which is the most comprehensive?
I would say ChatGPT. That's the one that I use the most. There are some platforms that integrate different types of tools all in within one platform. So, but the issue with those is that there's a limit on what you're able to produce. So unless you get, and they can be more expensive. So my go-to is ChatGPT because I can do some of everything. So let me show you this. Let's see. So it's not, hold on one second. Nope. Let me pull this back over here. That's how I got lost before. Can you see my ChatGPT screen now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I'm gonna go over here. Let's play. Create and illustrate. We're from Cleveland. Well, most people are from Cleveland. Let's see. Create and illustration of a fan cheering at a Cleveland she is in her mid-20s. I'm not quite sure what's going to do, but wearing a Cavs jersey, wearing with I'm gonna do that. All right, let's see what it does. Oh, copyright. Okay, so let's try something else. All right, create a cheering at a Cavaliers. If you like, I can create a similar illustration with it. Yes, let's just try that. So you do get copyright issues sometimes. I was able to create some art with a woman wearing a Browns jersey. So maybe it just needs to be more generic. But as you can see, it gives you, there you go. So that's just an example of something else you can do within the platform. This is how I've created some of my inspirational art for home decor, and it's just fun. I use this for the children's books that I created, and so it can do everything. So this is really my go-to platform. And it generates art through DALL-E, spelled DALL hyphen E.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
So we have some data validation questions now. You were talking about how sometimes it hallucinates and sometimes you have to validate the data that you receive. So one
Mhm.
person said data needs to be exact. How do you validate data summaries to know that it's correct? And another said something similar. What are the best practices for verifying AI generated information to avoid the hallucinations, especially for business critical content?
So I use ChatGPT for general AI content creation. If I need to get into a platform that I need references, I would use Perplexity. It's much more reliable and it's known for being able to reference content. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to think of. Let's try this one just to show you. Can you guys see the Perplexity screen?
Yes.
Okay, so as you can see, the difference is it's actually showing you the resources for the information it's presenting.
Yeah, I will mention that ChatGPT, I don't know if it's all versions, but I'm like you, I do have the 4.0 and I've
Mhm.
noticed it has started citing sources recently as well.
Okay, so yeah,
So,
and then there's research preview. Um, let's try this. Uh, so I think it really depends on what you are searching for and the purpose of what you're trying to do. Chat GPT is good for, let's try, it's not a great prompt. I'm just putting it in here to see what it comes back with. So now it's asking for a deeper analysis. Yes, and provide sources. Okay, this is, there we go.
and right at the bottom, Felicia, there's the sources. Yep. So
Mhm, yep.
it's citing all the
So
little logos.
yep, it's showing here, and then you also have the tags after each paragraph.
So it's learning.
It is, and it's always learning.
That's right. Awesome. Thank you. We have another great question. Dennis said, you mentioned that AI can be used for content creation like blog posts.
Mhm.
Are there concerns that SEO bots will reject the content and not give it priority because it is AI generated?
Yes, and that's why you need to go in and tweak it so that it doesn't sound like a bot. And remember, AI is a tool. It's not going to replace you, so you really have to use it as a tool. You can set, so let's say if you had your blog, your AI set up, your automation set up for a blog post. So prior to posting, you'll want to review it. It can post automatically if that's what you choose to do, just to get volume out there. But if you want effectiveness, you still need to review it. There may be some things that you want to update or change around, depending on your brand and your style. But you still have to, own what you're presenting because it is your business. And, I was able to, update my resume. I was able to take like different job descriptions and it was able to help reorganize content. So it is a tool, but you own what it produces because it's representing you.
Great, thank you. Another
Mhm.
question, this one is from Wayne. He said, what tools would you use to do the invoicing and emails? I'm curious how I can integrate these tools into my current system without having to start over completely.
So Wayne, what systems are you currently using? And you can come
Wayne,
off your,
yeah, you're welcome to raise your hand, Wayne. I'm going to unmute you.
Hey, how's it going?
hello.
Hey, so yeah, I've been in business for about 8 years and stuff, and I'm eager to like integrate some of these things into my workflow.
Mhm.
The problem is not the problem, but like in the way I currently use things is I'll write certain things, and then if it feels convoluted or something, I'll just plug it back into the system and let it like, reformat things. But like, my question is more along the lines of like, so I have invoices and I have like proposals that I write and things of that nature. But the proposals are like done in Google Docs and things of that nature.
Mhm.
So would it
Mhm.
just be I just copy and paste the information in there, or is there a way that I can like take previous invoices and then plug them into something and then allow it to like replicate that and keep the same format I currently have, but like you kind of get what I mean?
Yes, so you see this little plus sign at the bottom here?
Yes.
You upload files.
Okay.
So you could actually upload your invoice and have it uh, produce other invoices. So in your case, I would automate that process. So you
Hmm.
could take Google Sheets, Google Docs, you can upload to show your style and as an example and reference as an example. And then the automation will process everything for you. So but the work, you have to do the work upfront. And that work would include creating your pricing or um, creating like a spreadsheet so that it knows what the reference when creating that invoice. And if you have, like you say, your invoices, you could upload as an example and it will then copy that format.
Got it. That makes sense. And then so each one of these tabs you have on the side of here is like has different rules that are associated with each one of those. Is that how that works? So
Well,
like,
it's not,
I'm sorry.
so these here are custom GPTs
Okay.
that I've used previously.
Hmm.
This one is a document scanner.
Hmm.
So this is connected
Hello?
via API. So it's yeah, this one's an automated tool that you have to, we're using make.com. It connects to the database of the software that you're using. So I can create a database, an API connection for Google Sheets or something like that. It would then pull that information in and process it based on like if we wanted to go to HubSpot or something like that. So you're
Hmm.
using APIs and integration to make those points talk to each other.
Got it. Okay. Thank you. Looking
You're
forward to
welcome.
exploring.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wayne. Paul, I do see you. Some of these questions have been waiting for a minute, so I'm going to
Okay.
get through these and then I will unmute you. Paul, just letting you know I see you there. Renee asked, how much time should entrepreneurs expect to invest in properly training AI to speak their brand voice before truly seeing useful results?
It It depends. There is no time limit. It's so one thing you can do to expedite training the API is uploading examples of your style. So for example, if you have an email newsletter that you've previously written, you would upload that and then tell it to write an email using the attachment as a reference, and it will then learn your style. And as you consistently upload and give it examples, it will then be able to write for you on your behalf. So it just takes time. And if you have examples you can upload, it expedites the process.
That's great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I can even say real quick,
Mhm.
create a welcome letter for a new customer of iWeb Design 360, introducing AI consultation, a service. Yeah. Use my style and tone. Oh, authentic, caring, and engaging style. There we go. Okay.
That's great.
Yep.
Thank
So
you.
you're welcome.
So on the topic of uploading things to get AI to catch up to your own processes, Dr. Brandy asked, as a grant writer, I want to teach AI to review a client's previous application with the responses and then use those responses to help answer another application's grant questions. Can I upload the previous application and say something like, learn this because I'll ask you about it later?
Yes, but I would say that's more of a custom GPT. It's going to take a lot more customization and automation, and you want to be very specific with that. So it's not something that you would just say, hey, write this. You're actually using it's defined answers and very specific. So you would need to create that work stream specific to the previous reference. So it takes a little bit more. That's not just a general chat GPT prompt.
Got it. That makes sense. We've got a few more for you, Felicia, if you're ready.
Okay, I'm good. Let's go.
This is a great question too from Kirk. If you've been using ChatGPT for the past year and want to transfer the knowledge it has about you and your business to another platform, such as Gemini or Copilot, is there an easier way to do this without the steep learning curve and manually re-entering all the information accumulated over time?
I don't know. Let's find out.
In real time. In real
Exactly.
time.
I don't have all the answers, but we have a platform that can assist us, so let's go for it. All right. All right. Let's see. I'm going to put this on temporary because, as you know, it learns about you. So this will not appear in my chat history or create memories. So, okay, I want to transfer. Okay, remember I can't type. All of the content that I have related to iWeb design 360 to from ChatGPT to Copilot. Is there what are the steps to make this happen if possible? Let's see. It's not a direct process, but you can follow these steps to manually or semi-automate the transfer. Okay,
So it can be done, Kirk.
it can be done. Just ask ChatGPT.
We have another presenter who comes occasionally and talks about AI, and he openly admits that AI helps him make his presentations.
It did. I told you I put mine in Gamma, so I'm the kind of person, I will stress forever creating a PowerPoint.
Mhm.
So the ability to have something where I can just create my content, upload it, it produces it, it styles it, and it generates the pictures and illustration. I did update the pictures because some of them are pretty cheesy, but it saved me like weeks of stress.
Absolutely. Speaking of pictures, our last written question before we get to verbal questions is how do you prevent word hallucinations in images or similar types of
Oh,
hallucinations?
so you don't. It's gonna happen, right? So that's when I'll have it produce something, and then I may have to take the image, download the image from ChatGPT, import it into Canva, and use some of the, that's my daughter, so she's helping me out. Thanks, Bree. Use some of their tools such as Magic Erase or Screen Grab. You pull that misspelled letter, and then you can kind of erase it and manipulate it yourself. So creating images is not 100% accurate. Let me show you some of, let's see. Joey wants to see picture. Right, so we're not gonna go with that one. This one spelled it correctly, but what if, let's say this was misspelled? I would move this into Canva and then pull the letters, rearrange the letters or however I need to do it. It takes a lot of manipulation. Uh, watercolor art creation. And then sometimes you can just keep iterating until you get exactly what you want. Abstract design requests. Okay, so own your power. I'm trying to find one that's misspelled. Of course, I can't find it right now. Own your power. Own your power. Um, be a boss design. So like this one, I would literally have to move this into Canva, grab the A and move it over. And then I could use this illustration. So it's 3 S's for boss. Erase one of them. So those are the kind of things that this is completely wrong. So it doesn't get it right. But as you can see, I'm constantly iterating and telling it, do this, do that, remove this, do that. And eventually you might get what you want.
Someone I know said that today's AI is the worst AI you'll ever use because it
Exactly.
is accelerating so rapidly.
Tomorrow's AI is going to be so much better.
That's right.
I mean,
That's
and when I illustrated my children's book, that was a year ago. So you can imagine the advancements that's made since then. I can't find it.
absolutely.
Yeah. Let's see. You can ask another question while I look for this.
So I'm actually going to unmute Paul, who's been patiently waiting to ask his question. So Paul, I'm going to allow you to talk and you can unmute yourself. Might have lost Paul.
Aw,
Hopefully he'll come back. Does anyone else have any other questions? You can put it in the Q&A or you're welcome to raise your hand.
so while you're going over this, these are some of the images that I created for my children's book, Joey Wants to Sing. And I had to keep iterating, like, this is not what I wanted. So I had to keep going back to get it, to train it to the way I wanted it to be. These are some of the houses that I used. So these are actual pictures that we use in the book. Use this one. This was a great one. Now it went from this, and I'm going for consistent characters, to this. So so I had to go back create an image of Joey, an African-American 12-year-old. So you have to be very specific with the details of your image. So.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Paul, last chance, going once, going twice to ask your question. Any other questions from anybody else? All your AI burning questions? No? All right. I think, Felesia, I think you're off the hook. Thank you so much. It was wonderful to have you. This was really incredibly informative. I hope you all feel like you can work smarter, not harder, moving forward. So a couple wrap-up items. We always have more webinars coming up the third Wednesday of every month, including our April 23rd webinar on using para business systems to grow your business sustainably, and our May 21st webinar on human resources compliance as you grow your company. You can find these webinars and other Jumpstart and partner events at jumpstartinc.org/events. At the end of today's session and in the follow-up email, you'll receive a brief survey. We appreciate your feedback. It allows us to continue to bring in experts and entrepreneurs to teach valuable lessons. Thank you all for coming and for your attention today. Thank you again, Felesia McDonald, and I hope you all have a wonderful afternoon, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.